Hi everyone, how have you guys been doing? Don't mind me, I'm sitting here on my scooter in my room, but I wanted to give you kind of an informal update about what's been going on with me in terms of aging with cerebral palsy. And if you're not aware, the month of March is actually Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month, which of course is stuff that I talk about all year round. But this month specifically, I like to do a lot more educational content around CP. So that said, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional. I didn't even really learn about how CP affected me beyond my lived experience until just a couple years ago. I think it's so important to share and document the things that I go through, especially as I continue to age with CP, because there's just not a lot of resources out there. There's not a lot of research. For some reason, a lot of the research stops with cerebral palsy once you hit 18. A lot of the research and funds go into learning about how CP affects children, which of course I'm incredibly grateful for because I was a child once. But once you kind of hit that 18 mark and you're an adult, the resources and research and knowledge and all of that is pretty hard to find. So for myself, and then a lot of people that I've talked to online as well, as we're aging with cerebral palsy, it's kind of just learning as it goes. It's not a lot of warning, again, not a lot of research out there. So I kind of am taking it day by day. A lot of things the past couple months have been coming up for me that I did not know to expect or to even anticipate. So that's why I like to share on here, to spread awareness for maybe some of my younger followers, relate with people who are my same age, and then also hear from any of my older followers who may have CP, or just going through the fun of aging through life and learning the things that end up impacting your body that you didn't think would. So I kind of gave the disclaimer that I'm sitting on my scooter. One, I just didn't feel like doing a whole setup today because I just wanted to get this out there. Two, I really try not to use my mobility scooter in my apartment because I need to walk around, and my apartment is a place where I feel comfortable and safe doing so. Whenever I leave my apartment, I have been using my walker way more than I have over the past probably decade. But since using my walker, my anxiety while going out and about has significantly been reduced. Because I was getting like panic attacks, I was really scared. Sometimes if I was just running errands, like walking into a store, walking into my apartment, walking into the gym, where now that I have my walker with me, it's kind of just like a sense of security, and I know that the chance of me falling is significantly reduced because I have this walker to lean on. So with the walker, I've been trying to go on more intentional walks where I walk, there's a little lake in my neighborhood, I walk around it a couple times, just to build up my stamina. And then with the walker, I'm also able to walk a lot slower and focus on my specific form, so that way I'm not hurting my knee more, hurting my ankles and stuff like that. That would definitely happen when I'm walking without the walker and just depending on momentum to get from point A to point B. So using the walker again has been a really great change in my life that has helped me deal with some of the issues that I've been going through when it comes to just kind of the changes my body has been experiencing the past couple months. So as a quick refresher, last year I was having knee problems for the first time, and long story short, ended up getting diagnosed with knee arthritis. The doctor said that that is common for women to be diagnosed earlier than men, and then of course cerebral palsy, it's just kind of a natural wear and tear due to the way that I've walked my entire life, that my knees are just going through this and have arthritis, unfortunately. So I did get some shots in my knees. I am definitely due for another one, as gross as it is. Like whenever I bend and straighten my knee, I can hear it kind of crunching, that bone on bone feeling. So that is a new pain that I've been dealing with, learning how to manage, also wanting to prevent any additional damage from happening. In addition to my knee, I've been having a lot of issues with my neck. What started with just kind of a kink in my neck has just continued to be kind of a constant level of pain since October. And I went to more specialists and doctors, found out it's nothing that bad. It really is just like my muscles are so tight that they can't relax. And with spastic diplegia, cerebral palsy, which is what I have, I've always had spasticity, but not to the point where I really felt chronic pain. But that is something that I've been experiencing recently, whether it's in my neck or my shoulder or in my leg. So I've been dealing with how to manage that and figure out ways to reduce the pain, lower the pain, so I can continue living and getting out there in life. With all of these changes and things going on, I had the idea to go to a neurologist for the first time. Essentially the first time, because I talked to my mom about it. I asked her, cerebral palsy is a disability having to do with the brain. It is a brain injury that results from lack of oxygen to the brain either before, during, or right after birth. For me specifically, it was never determined when that happened. It's a mystery why I have CP. My parents didn't even know until a couple months after I was born. But it is a brain injury. And my mom said the last time I went to a neurologist was when I was 3 years old, which is around when I was diagnosed. So I think what happened was I got diagnosed, got referred on to the next doctors with PT, OT, and all of that. And then there really wasn't a need to go back to a neurologist because CP itself, the injury, doesn't change. So I think that's important to note because that's something I was told my whole life. CP doesn't change, CP doesn't change. So I always thought like all the things that I do wouldn't be impacted, which in hindsight, of course, is such a silly thing to think because with anyone, the older you get, there's more wear and tear on your body, and with years and years of walking the way that I do and navigating the way that I have, it's just natural that certain things are gonna pop up, like my knee, like my neck, and stuff like that. But as a naive woman in my early 20s, I really didn't anticipate these things, and I think even if someone sat me down and said, Chelsea, if you don't do X, Y, and Z, you're gonna feel like X, Y, and Z, I wouldn't really believe it until I was going through it. So that's another reason I want to make these videos, in case anyone is watching. Not to scare you by any means, but just to kind of take note of certain things you can be doing to reduce these symptoms happening to you as you continue to age as well. And it's not a one-size-fits-all, just like how CP is so different from person to person, the way it progresses can be different from person to person, but the actual injury itself does not change. That said, since I haven't been to a neurologist in so long and I have these new things popping up, I did want to go and meet with one just to see if there's anything else that I could be doing to help myself now to meet my body where it's at and make some lifestyle changes that moving forward things won't get harder. They'll either be maintained or maybe a little bit easier. So long story short, I went to a neurologist at 31 years old for essentially the first time for myself. I talked to her and I went in with, not to say low expectations, but I didn't go to the neurologist thinking that there would be like one solution that would fix everything. I know that that's not a reality. I'm pretty realistic about it. I know that if I want my body to improve, there's a lot of lifestyle changes that I've needed to implement that I have been over the past couple months. And that's moving more, continuing going to the gym, stretching, and all of that stuff. But I just wanted to kind of pick the neurologist's brain, and she was really, really helpful. She actually sat and listened to me. I talked her through everything that I've been going through when it comes to the anxiety with walking, with some of the things I'm noticing I'm not able to do as easily as I used to do, and so on. We honestly had a really great conversation. A few things came out of that is kind of like homework for me, and then another one that I wanted to see if anyone watching has gone through is taking a muscle relaxer. She did like kind of like an observation of me, noticed just how tight my muscles are in my legs, a little bit even in my arms, dealing with the neck pain and stuff like that. And she highly recommended that I started a muscle relaxer. So I was on one when I was a child called baclofen, and it's one that you take like every 6 hours depending on your dosage and stuff like that. When I was a child, I ended up stopped taking it, I think honestly just because I'd be woken up in the middle of the night to keep on that schedule. I personally didn't feel that big of a difference, and it just was kind of interrupting my life having to stick to that schedule. So I decided to stop. But now at this age and dealing with the tightness and spasticity that I have, I am now debating doing it again, because talking to the neurologist, she wants my body to just relax a little bit, chill out, where the muscles can relax and not be as tight and as tense. So when I am going on my walks, when I am exercising, you know, the right muscles can be using themselves in the right ways. So that's something I've been slowly trying over the past couple weeks. I take it right before bed. I'm slowly kind of getting myself on them. So I will report back and let you know how I'm feeling. I'm really interested to see if I will notice a difference, especially with my stretch appointments and stuff like that, and with my neck pain, just to kind of get my body at a baseline level of not being as tight and as tense. And then in addition to that, I've been trying to do massage therapy at least once a month. It's been hard schedule-wise to do that, but doing consistent massages is supposed to help my muscles as well, just kind of get to that good baseline of being relaxed, so when I am doing these other things, it's not as tense. Besides the muscle relaxers, she also recommended that I do physical therapy and occupational therapy. I still haven't been able to start that out yet. I had a bad experience last year with a PT who just specialized more in like a sports injury and literally told me he didn't know what to do with me and that I should not ever walk again. So I'm hoping to take some time to find a new PT, find a new OT that's familiar with cerebral palsy, and incorporate that into my schedule. So in addition to that and the things that she said, plus the gym and going to my stretch appointments and all of that, I'm hoping to see some improvements. You know, the neurologist didn't recommend doing like a new x-ray or MRI scan of my brain because she said, like I said earlier, the injury itself doesn't change. But it was really beneficial to talk to her and get some directions on next steps of things that I can do. So I just wanted to share that with you. If you have any experiences of your own, let me know in the comments and I will keep you all updated. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment.